Hey, so I wanted to post a quick video. Recently, I found out as of 11/29/2022, the Respect for Marriages Act passed in the Senate, which requires nonprofit organizations and tax-exempt organizations to honor same-sex marriage. Now, this opens up the church, in particular the church, because of the 501c3 status they have as a nonprofit organization, as a religious institution, to potentially be sued. It opens up greater levels of liability for the church. Now, here is the issue. Now, Jesus, as we know or should know, wants us to have as few as possible ties to this world. We should cut the string whenever we have the opportunity, whether it's our wants and desires, if they're worldly possessions. Try to have as few ties to this world, because if we seek to find our life in this world, we will lose it. But if we lose our life for Jesus, we will find life eternal. And the life that we're supposed to lose here and now is the old life, the life of materialistic desires, of worldly desires, of the wants to be, I want to be famous, I want to be rich, I want to be better than you. That type of life. If you find that, potentially lose your soul. That's what Jesus is getting at, right? And we need to put emphasis on the greater, more important things of this world, like the desire to be kind, to be compassionate, to give, to not be greedy, right? Now, Jesus said very clearly, render to Caesar what is Caesar's, right? And it's really important that we're willing to do that, because first of all, right, money will never honor God. What honors God is our obedience, right? Our sacrifices, our willingness to do his work. That is how we honor God. Now, to cut those strings, that's what the church really needs to do, right? Now, it's found itself in a predicament because it's put itself in a relationship with the government, right? And cutting those strings are the most important thing to do. Private citizens are not at risk. If you own a bakery shop, you're not at risk. Anyone could be sued, but the level of risk you have as a private citizen, according to your beliefs, is still protected by the federal government. The church, however, is not, because that's a body that has a relationship through the 501c3 status where they don't have to pay taxes to the government. Now, interestingly so, there's a depiction of a lady in Revelation 17 riding a beast. Now, usually women in the Bible are depicted oftentimes as the bride of Christ. Very likely, right, this could be depicting some kind of pinnacle level of how a church associates and becomes in a relationship with a government. And governments in the Bible are often depicted as a beast. Kingdoms, people, local authorities, governments. You have different forms of beasts to represent those. So the lady riding a beast might not be the United States, might not be any country in particular. It's more than likely Jerusalem, Israel, but it very likely could represent that kind of relationship that we see all around us at a pinnacle level, at the greatest level of corruption and evilness, where the church, out of greed, wanting to keep as much as it can, puts itself in a relationship with the federal government for the purposes of having a tax exemption to not have to render to Caesar's what is Caesar's in order to maintain money while compromising itself. Now it's in a relationship with the federal government that at the stake, at the chance of missing out or losing that tax exemption, has to be in requirement with certain mandates that fall under that 501c3 nonprofit exemption requirements. So just putting that out there. Let me know what you think, right? Be praying for our country. Be praying for the world. Be praying in particular for those people who are lost, who do not know Jesus. And if you're one of those people that does not know the Lord, I'm inviting you this day to ask him into your heart. Believe on him in your heart, confess him with your mouth, and you will be saved. God bless. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Bye-bye.